International Trade Council. Thank you for attending today's educational session. Before we start, I just want to do a quick audio check. For those attendees who's currently in, can you please type in yes in the comment section if you can hear the audio clearly and if you can see the PowerPoint presentation? And let me check if perfect. Okay. Thank you, Samantha. For others, please. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we are currently checking here on the chat box. If you have any questions before this presentation, you can type in your question here. Also, you can type in your question in the Q&A tab of the screen. After the webinar, our speaker will be answering your question. So let's start. Today's topic is, what does truly sustainable beauty mean? Today's enlightening webinar on the beauty industry profound impact on climate change and ocean biodiversity will investigate beyond the surface level understanding of sustainable beauty, exploring the pitfalls of certifications like Ecocert or Cosmos, and diving into the complexities of building truly sustainable beauty brands. Our speaker is Sila Jarvi, Senior Executive of LRV Corporation Limited. I'll pass the stage now to our speaker. Go ahead, Sila.
Yeah, hello. I hope you can hear me well also. So as Ron introduced me, my name is Saila, and my family name Järvi means lake in English. So maybe that's the reason why I've always been so drawn to water. And so let me tell you a couple of things about my background, because hopefully it will open up a bit about my interest towards the beauty industry as well as the sustainability in the beauty industry. So I hold a master's degree in computer engineering. I have a very strong background in the mobile field. I used to work for Nokia for 12 years in the senior management positions in Finland and abroad. And so I have international background in that respect. Then after Nokia, I have been working as a sales director for IT companies, global IT companies, and I've been also holding CEO positions in various number of tech companies who've been operating globally and in the global markets. And besides my technical background, as said at the beginning, so I've been drawn to water as an element. And I have a background of a competition swimming, so I hold 14 Finnish championships in swimming. And since I grow old or grow out from the competition swimmer's career, I started sailing. So I'm a passionate sailor, and I've been sailing in number of seas in the world, cheaper in the boats and being part of the team in the boat, etc. And one of my favorite places to sail is definitely Croatian archipelago. It is one of the two most beautiful archipelagos in the world, if we believe in the sailors' boat. So the other one is the Finland. In Finland, the Turku archipelago, and the other one is this Croatian archipelago. Two totally different kind of islands and geographical kind of views, but both very beautiful. And I've been sailing in the Croatian archipelago for years, and every time I go there, I've always flown to Split, the city in the middle of the Dalmatian coastline. And next to Split is this small, beautiful village called Trogir. I don't know if any of you know it. And Trogir is the UNESCO protected kind of place. It's very small, partially on an island and partially on the, not island. And there I've always stayed a couple of nights before going to the sailing in a small family hotel called Villa Papé. Villa Papé earned the first green kind of certificate in the Dalmatian island in the hotels, among the hotels. They're very, very kind of a sustainable business, and it's run by the couple, Iran-Boris Rakic, who have actually become my very good friends over the years because I've stayed there for so many times. And during my sailing trips, I also witnessed the terrible situation of the oceans on our planet. I've seen the amount of plastic waste growing and growing, and I felt helpless, totally helpless. What comes to what can I do more than just not to polish the seas myself? And so my process of becoming very aware of the sustainability issues and the climate change has not been rapid. I've sort of grown into this awareness. And the sailing was the first initiative for me. And then I was sailing in Croatia again in 2017, and I stayed in the Villa Pape before the sailing trip, and after the sailing trip also. And every time, because this couple has become my friends, they invited me over for a dinner. So I went for a dinner, and we talked this and that, and we started to talk about the beauty industry. Suddenly, I don't know how we get there, but we just went there. And I've been also talking a lot about the female entrepreneurship and trying to kind of push ladies to become entrepreneurs and establish startups and pushing them to the board seats, etc. So we started to talk about the beauty somehow, and then I asked Ira, this lady, that at what brand do you use because your skin looks so young, and Ira said that I use something you can't buy. So that is the story of the brand that I'm representing. But now we go to the sustainability issue a bit more. So this is the video that actually was the last wake up call for me. This has been created by the Conservation International, the NGO in the US. Very powerful and beautiful video. Let's have a look at this one. It takes about 2 minutes. Because the video
Are
is
you,
not visible.
yeah, are you
Let me.
trying to play the video?
Yes, I've tried to play the video, but it seems to. I'm not able to share it somehow.
Is it in your PowerPoint or in a different tab?
Yeah, I have to choose the tab. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Sorry for this. So let's start again. Is it visible now?
Yes, we can see it now.
Brilliant. Now
You can switch back to the
yeah,
presentation.
yeah. It's a bit complicated. Yeah. So this is what actually initiated the absolute interest towards the sustainability in me. And I said I witnessed the oceans and the situation with the oceans earlier, but this is the last kick that sort of woke me up to say that I need to do something more. So I met this lady, and one thing led to another, and we actually this lady's Ira Rakic's daughter had been developing organic cosmetic skincare recipes for over 10 years by that time, and she was a chemist and a pharmacist by occupation, and she did it on her own time, and I wanted to help her out. This is the beginning of my story in the beauty industry. So according to the beauty trends, 2023 to 2030, certain facts are inevitable according to the studies. So beauty brands focus on hyper personalization, at-home treatments are here to stay. So these are the ones that actually were first introduced in a more powerful manner during the pandemic, when we were all kind of locked into our homes, and we women started to, and also men started to do the at-home treatments. So this is a trend that will grow according to these studies. Then the third one, the women demand clean beauty. This is an inevitable fact too. The fourth one, it's all about the eyes. So a lot of kind of concentration on the eyes, and that's also the fact. And the growing demand for men's beauty products is also a fact. And last but not least, the calls for more diversity and inclusion. But let's dive a bit deeper into the women demand clean beauty. According to the Environmental Working Group, the average person applies 9 personal care products to their body daily. And within those 9 products, there's an average of over 120 unique ingredients. Before the organic beauty started to grow this drastically, there were a lot of kind of artificially made ingredients in the products. And we still don't know, it has been studied and researched a lot, that which kind of ingredients might be behind, for example, the ever increasing amount of cancers in the societies, etc. Also, the pollution that we live in might have an impact on that too. So people started to be more and more aware of their personal health and what they put on their skin. Also, a very recent report from Nostos said that the 68% of people are looking for a product described as clean. Clean has a lot of kind of different meanings, of course, and so does sustainable. For me, the sustainable always means that we have to work hard against the mass consuming type of habits that all the humankind has been doing for the past decades. So we have used the natural resources already this year, the amount that the nature is producing. And that is really alarming. And that is one of the biggest reasons of the climate change and the terrible situation with the biodiversity of these oceans and biodiversity in generally speaking. Also, the global survey shows that the women are seeking for greater transparency from beauty brands. They want to know, they want to understand what is behind the brand, how is it manufactured, what is in it, what are the reasons for all the choices that the brand has made. And that is very good. I take it as extremely good news for the industry. Also, the product packaging has been brought to be very important in the sustainability side, and it has a tremendous impact on the sustainability too. So sustainability means different things to different people. It's very easily understandable, sustainable. It can mean that the beauty is sustainable, which is always somehow in the interest of or has been in the interest of the women, especially women. They want to kind of sustain their beauty. Sustainable can mean business sustainability. It can mean sustainability in the manufacturing side. It can mean sustainability from all kind of different aspects. And I try to kind of cover all the aspects that come into my mind when somebody says sustainable. So sustainability in the beauty industry is so much more than just the certificates or organic labels or the jars and bottles and packaging. It goes, for me, it goes really, really deep in a much deeper level. Certificates, we know we have the Cosmos certificate and the Ecocert that are the most kind of used certificates in Europe. And for example, both of them are commercial certificates, and there's a place for them as well. But as an example, for my company, we don't have either one. And the reason for this is, since one of our key ingredients, as our roots go all the way to Croatian kind of nature, one of our key ingredients is the immortel, which is almost like a national flower of Croatian. And the farmers in Croatia don't have the money to certify their products. And I wanted to make sure that one of the sustainability aspects for me is the kind of fair trade and trying to kind of the social responsibilities, etc. So I wanted to have the direct discussion with the farms who produce the immortal oil, for example. And since they don't have money to certify their product, it doesn't mean that their product is not 100% organic. So there are companies who are doing the certification for them, and then they are selling those products with much higher margin, for example. And in the worst case, they take the oil to other countries in Europe to certify it, and then they send it back to Croatia, and then for example, I'm ordering them to our manufacturing space in Finland. So it would be first transferred to another country from Croatia and then to my place, to our factory. And this causes extra carbon footprint, which is again against my sustainability values. So we made the business decision at the beginning that we are not going to certify our products, because for our case, it would be against the sustainability and the transparency that we are promising to our customers. Organic ingredients. For many people, many consumers, this is the signal that the product is sustainable. And that is actually not always the case, unfortunately. It depends on what ingredients you are talking about. If you are purchasing ingredients from the other side of the world, again, it's not too sustainable for me. But if you are ordering them and trying to use the nearby farms to produce the ingredients for your needs, then that can be very sustainable. So again, just being organic does not provide or guarantee the brand and the product to be fully sustainable. What about the biodegradable? This is a very difficult biodegradable packaging. There's a lot of companies, for example, in Finland, who've been developing this kind of packages and jars and trying to that would actually be that the consumer could be put to the bio waste. But there's a lot of problems with that. So the materials, there's been a lot of studies on this one, and we have been investing in studying this very much. Some products that need to be solid what comes to for example, holding goods that include water. For them to kind for you to put them into the compost, it might take hundreds of years for them to really melt into the compost as it should be. And so there's a lot of issues in this too. And I'm against the plastic waste in the oceans, and we have solutions to prevent that. But I'm not against plastic. Plastic has saved so many lives in the world. It is the absolutely unbeatable material what comes to weight and the ability to hold water, for example, and it's also very, very easy to use in many respects, and it's very hygiene, so it doesn't actually it decreases the risk of having any harmful bacteria or microbes living on them. So it's very, very extremely good material. The question is that we need to guide the consumers to recycle the plastic waste, to put it in the right recycling. That also involves the governments, and it is a circle that needs to be, every piece in that circle needs to be in place. In the Nordic countries, we have this system called what we are, for example, buying sodas or drinks from the supermarkets, and all the bottles, every can and everything, all those we need to kind of pay some extra money when we purchase the product, but we get that extra money back when we return it to the shop, and the shop then returns it back to the companies that are producing sodas and all sorts of drinks to the consumers. So it is fully working, extremely well working recycling of the packaging in the drinking industry. So we need to be able to create the similar kind of possibilities for the consumers to return the jars to the origin. And this is something that we are also investigating heavily at the moment in my company, that how could we provide to our global consumer base the possibility to return the empty jars back to us for reuse. So we believe that change is possible by creating a sustainable values for action. And what does it mean in practice? We have created the so-called rule book called the Code of Respect. And we take the sustainability into multiple levels through respect. Sustainability for me means the ultimate and the maximum respect towards everything we do. Couple of words about the Code of Respect. So it holds these 4 cornerstones. The first one is the respect for the customer. So that is really in the core of everything we do, of course, because we are running the company. It's the company that wants to make profits and wants to grow. And but we're trying to kind of guide our customers to make more conscious consuming decisions. As said at the beginning, the environment has been damaged enough, and we just don't have, the humankind, we don't have the option of a luxury of continuing the same kind of consuming that we've done so far. It's a no-go. We just cannot continue like this. We must change our way of consuming. We must change our views on everything. It doesn't mean that we have to kind of start suffering. No, we should still be able to kind of provide, at least occasional luxury feelings for ourselves, and if not like continuous luxury feelings for ourselves. And we need to be able to travel. We need to be able to explore. And that is absolutely not my intention to say no to those things. But we need to take the environment also into the center of everything we do. So the respect for the environment is definitely one of our core values. And with this, we mean that we try to minimize the carbon footprint and waste flows. We reuse all the packaging and everything we can, and as well as engage in voluntary work to create a positive impact to the environment. And this means that we go every year. We go as a team. We go to polish the coastline of the Finland Baltic Sea from the plastic waste and all the waste that we find in the coastline. We do it with the other companies in Finland, and it is this one day every August called John Nurminen Day, and it's the Baltic Sea Day. And we participate that every year. We do this in other parts of the world as well, but this is the example from Finland. Then the third one is the respect for the social responsibility. This is also a sustainable thing for me. And this means that we engage the social development through our products' life cycles. And as an example, I gave this ingredient, this immortal oil that we are purchasing directly from the farms, because I want them to have more profit and not the bigger company who's holding the stamp of some certificate and causing extra carbon footprint to the world. So this is our social responsibility. We are helping the farms in Croatia to produce immortal in a more sustainable way. Then last but not least is the respect for fair and transparent business policies. And this means that we are committed to create and maintain a fair and safe working ecosystem, respecting the laws that have been stated by the democratically elected parliaments, and enriching the dialogue with our employees. And this is the picture of my beauty box a couple of years ago. A lot of samples, and the brands you see here, I'm not kind of against any of the brands, just don't take me wrong. It's just an example of the huge amount of samples that I had at that time. And the samples I never used. I took them because they were given to me, but I never used them. There were so many of them. I had piles and piles of small samples from various number of brands that I never used. They expired and then I threw them away. And when I saw this, and this is not even everything, and I was like shocked, and I understood this is, we have to stop this. I don't have time to use all this, but I still take them because they are for free. And this is one of the reasons why we don't have any samples in my company. I made the decision already in 2017 that I didn't accept any samples personally. Decided that I don't need them because I don't use them. So the sustainability is a big, big thing for me. And as said, I'm so proud of my team, since I believe that we have a very professional team who have been able to make this puzzle of different sustainability aspects into our everyday work and into the values of the company. Somebody needs to lead the way, and I'm more than happy to do it. And it starts from sincere need to see the change in the industry. And it grows by having the means to do or lead the change. And if you want to hear more, again, I'm still here a good half an hour, so I'm finished already, and I'm more than happy to answer all the questions that you might have. And I'm also open to have an email conversation with any of you. And you can see my email is silent.jarvi@lavcorp.com.
All right, thank you so much for that presentation. We have a few questions here. Sila, I will going to project the question on the stage, okay?
Yeah,
So this is the first question. Can you see it?
yeah. Sustainable beauty products need a lot of space to produce the ingredient. Product price will go very high, and it depends. It depends on how you actually, it can go very high. It depends on the ingredients you are using. and it depends also on the volumes that you are producing. So the mass market, of course, is a different type of animal in all everything they do. But I have the luxury of really making things in a small scale. Uh, and it's also, yeah, it costs a lot to get so much of land. That's very correct. Though at the same time, how much does it cost if we don't take this into account? It's again a value that we need to kind of, and a choice that we need to make.
Okay. Next question is,
Well, that's a very nice question. The first one that actually ever relates us to Louis Vuitton. Uh, to some extent, I have a feeling that we have a lot of similarities. So we hand make things, we handcraft our products, like Louis Vuitton. Uh, thus, we are not yet as big as Louis Vuitton, of course. And but I know that Louis Vuitton has started from a small, that like all success stories, they start from the small, like handmade bags was the initial kind of start. And time will show where we are, how far we get. Yeah. But we have the similar type of value, so we believe that the quality is really, really important. You need to kind of have a high quality product that the customers like. And that way you can also start to make the change within the entire beauty industry to become more sustainable.
thank you. So we're still open for questions right now. Please feel free to type in your questions in the comment section or Q&A tab of the platform. While we are waiting, I just need to remind everyone that for those who are not yet member of International Trade Council, we are giving free membership for those who attended today. So please feel free to reach out to me directly. And this educational session is recorded. So if you would like to replay, you can replay using this platform, AirMeet, or you can also check our YouTube channel, International Trade Council. In the next few days, we will also send certificate of participation for those who attended this today's educational session. So we have, um, I don't see any other questions. Please feel free to type in if you have any other. Okay, we have one question here. If you can see it.
Which materials are used for making the bottles of your beauty products? Yeah, we made a very heavy investigation on this one too. And my first initial kind of requirement was that it needs to come from Europe. I wanted to have the European manufacturer because of the carbon footprint that we are calculating constantly and compensating back to the nature. So it is also the business initiative for us to have everything manufactured from nearby. The bottles, we have glass bottles and plastic ones. And for example, the beauty industry has, I forgot to mention at the beginning, so the beauty industry has a tendency of bringing, because the consumers are demanding so-called clean beauty products. So they have a tendency of pushing the cleanliness with the wrong argumentation, if you ask me. It is very popular nowadays to have a wooden cap, for example, in the bottles. But we made an investigation on this one too, and the wood is always too soft to hold. So you need to have a strongly glued plastic insert in all wooden caps. If you take a closer look at the wooden caps in the cosmetic industry, they all have plastic inserts. And you can't kind of separate these two, the plastic from the wood, because they are glued heavily. So you can't throw the cap to the bio waste, neither can you throw it to the plastic waste. So it goes to the mixed waste, which is the worst place for any waste. And therefore, we don't have any wooden caps. We have plastic caps. Plastic is an absolutely unbeatable material when it comes to solidity and strength and yeah, hygiene, etc. So glass bottles, plastic bottles, and plastic caps.
Okay, we have another question here. There you go.
I recently learned about squalene in many cosmetic products that are harvested from sharks. What is your stand? Uh, yeah, I'm not fond of this thing. We don't have any animal origin ingredients in our products. We only have fully organic and fully uh, cruelty-free ingredients. Sharks are they should be protected more as they play a very important role in the ocean biodiversity. Uh,
All right. Here's another one.
Bamboo is good. It could be good, but you have to know the origin very well. And again, we don't have any bamboo sources or farms in Europe, so therefore we don't have any bamboo in our products.
Right. So still checking if there are some questions. We are still open for questions. Just please feel free to type in your question here. Here you go.
So let's take firstly, we are moving globally and creating localized versions of our formulations, hiring women to create an hand-milled, short-dated, hand-milled products on glass. Uh, how do you feel about glass? Yeah, uh, glass is, as a material, it is, first of all, it is quite heavy. We have a business partner from Milan who has designed the bottles for us, for example, and they're manufactured in Europe. So glass is luxurious. It is really luxury material. But as said, we are also seeking for lighter solutions for our products because of the carbon footprint again. And manufacturing glass is really not too sustainable, to be frank. So I have mixed feelings about this one. But if you want to reach a certain group of markets, they might demand a bit more kind of luxury feeling bottles, and glass is a good solution for in that case.
All right. I think this question has been answered a while ago regarding bamboo.
Mm.
So
For us,
uh,
bamboo is not an option, but it could be a good option.
okay. All right. So yeah, we're still waiting for other questions. While we are waiting, anything else you would like to add about the presentation? I suggest, Saila, can you please type in your email address in the chat box so that they can just copy paste the email address from the chat box if they have any
Absolutely,
more
yeah.
discussion or they would like to connect. Feel free to email her directly.
It is. Yeah, it is a very important topic. This all in all, this sustainability in the beauty industry. Beauty industry is growing very fast, and therefore, all in all, the beauty industry's carbon footprint. I don't know the exact how it actually how is it rated, for example, against other industries, but it must be quite significant. And it is a kind of heavily consumed segment, and it's growing. So the carbon footprint altogether of the beauty industry must follow quite close to the fashion industry that has been the biggest uh, carbon footprint creator in the history of the humankind.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions now. We have still a few minutes, so if you would like to add more and finalize the presentation, I'll give you the time right now.
Yeah. So just to highlight, the sustainability goes much deeper than just the packaging or organic or cleanliness of the brand. And luckily, the Generation Z has, for example, started to demand the transparency, as said at the beginning of the presentation. So they have started to demand the brands to be more transparent, which is absolutely good. And for example, my company we are open to tell anything our customers are asking from us, except the recipes. That is the only secret of ours. We tell the ingredients, but not the recipes. And that has been very well taken in the markets. People appreciate it. They appreciate that they get answered, their concerns are heard, and we take their input seriously and start to kind of become better and better in also sustainability issues that people are raising to us or concerns. We are constantly developing and constantly following the trends, constantly following the sustainability trends and measurements and the sciences, sustainability sciences developing very fast at the moment, luckily. And we have just actually, we were lucky one to get the newest team member who is studying the environmental economics in the Helsinki University. So she has joined the team now to take our initiatives even further. But as said, the sustainability has plenty of meanings and many of aspects, and it just the surface doesn't tell necessarily everything.
We have one question here projected on the screen.
Yeah, men's interest in hygiene. Yeah, men's have strongly indicated to be the growing segment in the skincare industry, for example. The fragrances, I don't know about that too much to be able to answer. I don't quite understand what actually even is meant here. The men's interest in skincare has increased a lot and will increase over the upcoming decade, according to the studies. The unisex products are introduced more and more to the markets, and they are selling very well. I guess that the same would apply to fragrances as well. Anything else?
Any other questions? Okay, so I don't see any other questions now. Anything else you would like to add, Sila?
Yeah, one interesting aspect now that comes also to the ingredients that we are studying at the moment is for example, the blue algae that is growing too heavily and aggressively in the Baltic Sea, for example. So there's a company who is investigating the possibilities to start using that in the cosmetic industry. And we are working closely with that company to see if we could introduce that in one of our products. So it has a kind of double sustainability impact, since once the blue algae is harvested from the Baltic Sea, it is a good thing for the Baltic Sea biodiversity. And it comes from nearby, and it seems to have a very, very good impact also on the skin.
All right, there is another question here.
How do we create more male compatibility with phenomena? I'm not sure if I understand the question correctly. How do we create more male compatibility with feminist? If you could elaborate.
Can you please elaborate the question? just waiting for Dr. Anna to elaborate the question. We are waiting for the question. I will going to type in my email address here for those participants who are not yet a member of International Trade Council. Please feel free to email me directly if you would like to become a member, and we can offer you a free membership. She is referring to fragrance, Sila. Not sure if.
Where can I see it now? Yeah. How do you propose to manage the waste production in the fragrance industry? I think there must be. The industry needs to introduce with the government and the other businesses a solid way of recycling the bottles. That is the only way, because in the fragrances as well, the only waste in the optimal case would only be the char. And to be able to kind of recycle that effectively and efficiently without any extra huge burden to the consumers, then that would be the solution for any industry that is actually utilizing the bottles. And I said that the Scandinavian style of recycling the bottles of the soda bottles and beer bottles is absolutely phenomenal.
All right, thank you. So we still have a few minutes for the webinar for this presentation. Uh, Dr. Anna is trying to clarify the question. She mentioned about we need to know what males prefer. Not sure if the question. Can you please paraphrase your question, Dr. Anna, so that we can answer the question for you? All right, there you go. This is the question.
Any European research on male fragrances? I don't know exactly. Is there any like male fragrances European research? I'm sure there's a lot of researches on this area done globally. And I would guess that also in the European level there must be some, but how credible they are, I don't know.
All right,
So unfortunately, I don't have the answer for that question.
thank
There's a
you.
lot of intentionally made researches that are not that credible. But if it's done by a third party with no direct interest in finding out any solutions, any specific solutions, then like McKinsey is doing a lot of studies in the beauty industry in generally, and they are very good kind of studies.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? I don't see any other questions as of the moment. So we can already conclude the presentation. So before we end, I would like to ask Sila to give us the final words about the presentation.
Yeah, it is actually a global phenomenon, so we can't exclude anybody. We just cannot exclude ourselves from this sustainability issue that we are having in our hands at the moment. What comes to the climate change and and using the natural resource, overusing natural resources. Uh, so we are all on the same boat. We don't have a planet B. We only have one planet to live on, and let's try to protect that as much as simply possible. And it is a kind of it is the work that is every level must be taken into account in the businesses, in the governments, and as well as in the consumers. So all of us must carry our responsibilities in this.
Thank you so much for that very interesting and motivating presentation, Sala. And to everyone,
Thank
thank you for
you.
attending. You're welcome. Thank you for attending today's webinar. We're looking forward to hear more about this topic. Maybe in the future, Sila can give us another webinar with regards to this topic. And we hope to see everyone in our future webinar. And again, please wait for the certificate of participation that we will be sending in the next few weeks. Thank you for your time, everyone, and you all have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Bye.